Have you ever wondered what really happens when the world's biggest boy band steps out of the spotlight and into the heat of a kitchen? What if the same hands that break dance stages, write award-winning lyrics, and hold millions of hearts suddenly have to hold spatulas, chop vegetables, and defend their dishes like their pride depends on it? Tonight, we're diving into a corner of BTS's world that fans think they know, but trust me, you've never seen it like this. Welcome to a culinary battlefield where instincts replace choreography, where timing is everything, and where one burnt pan can expose more secrets than any interview ever has. And the question is simple: who among the seven is truly the king of the kitchen? But is anything simple when it comes to BTS? Of course not, because each member enters the kitchen with a completely different energy, some chaotic, some calm, some surprisingly professional, and the stories behind their skills are loaded with memories, emotion, and a kind of honesty that only comes out when people cook. You might think you already know who's good, who's hopeless, who's unpredictable, but wait until you hear the background, the struggles, the late-night training, and those small, almost invisible moments that shaped their kitchen personalities. Why does one member cook as if he's trying to prove something to the world? Why does another cook only when he's stressed, turning the kitchen into a quiet sanctuary? And why does one member look like he was born with a frying pan in his hand, while another still can't figure out the difference between salt and sugar, even after years of practice? This list will not just tell you who ranks, where it will take you inside their stories, the kind that feel like mini documentaries, the kind that make you rethink everything you thought you knew. Because cooking isn't just cooking. It's about comfort, memories, tiny traditions, family habits, the way someone was raised, the things they tasted growing up, the moments they never forgot. And in BTS, every dish comes with meaning. So tonight, brace yourself. We're entering kitchens filled with sizzling oil, heartfelt nostalgia, unexpected chaos, and delicious victory. We're opening doors to stories that are funny, emotional, surprisingly deep, and absurd in all the best ways. And by the time you reach number 1, you won't just know who the best cook is, you'll understand why. So, are you ready? Ready to witness the quiet mastery, the wild experiments, the legendary misfires, the comfort foods, the secret recipes, the surprising talents, and the unforgettable stories behind each of the 7? Then, let's begin. Ask yourself, who do you think will rise to the top? And more importantly, are you prepared to be completely wrong? Number 7, Suga, the reluctant minimalist who turns cooking into a quiet rebellion. When Yoongi steps into a kitchen, it never feels like a performance. There's no dramatic apron flip, no exaggerated chef pose, no unnecessary commentary. He walks in the way he walks into a studio. Calm, observant, slightly sleepy looking, but with that unmistakable quiet confidence that tells you he'll get the job done no matter what. And that, ironically, is exactly why he ranks at number 7. Not because he can't cook, but because cooking, to him, is more of a survival task than an art form, something he does only when absolutely needed, when hunger hits harder than inspiration, or when the dorm becomes too quiet and he needs something simple to ground himself. His cooking style? Efficiency. Precision. Zero chaos. The closest thing to a culinary ninja you'll ever see. You won't catch him multitasking like Jungkook, mixing ingredients like taehyung, or seasoning with grand gestures like jin. Yoongi opens the fridge, scans the options with the clinical focus of a detective solving a case, and chooses only what he needs. Never more, never less. One knife, one cutting board, one pan, everything in a straight line, everything within reach. And if a camera catches him during the process, he simply shrugs, gives a small half smile, and keeps going as if he's making the world's most logical decision. I was hungry, so I cooked. But behind that simplicity, there's a story one made of years of living alone as a trainee. Scraping by with whatever ingredients he could afford, learning how to stretch flavors, how to make something warm and comforting out of very little. He grew up in Daegu, in a world where practicality was a way of life, where wasting food was unthinkable and cooking wasn't about pleasure but necessity. He learned early how to toast dried seaweed perfectly, how to throw together noodles that tasted better than they looked, how to make simple rice dishes that soothed fatigue after long nights composing. Those trainee days shaped his kitchen personality. Straightforward, unpretentious, deeply rooted in routine. And yet, sometimes, just sometimes, something shifts. Maybe it's a rare day off. Maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it's the memory of home-cooked meals he didn't realize he missed. And that's when Yoongi surprises everyone, including himself, Because when he does choose to put effort into cooking, it's intimate, it's soft, it's emotional in a way he doesn't verbally express. You can see it in the way he quietly wipes the counter before starting, in the way he adjusts the flame with careful attention, in the way he plates food without flourish but with an unmistakable sense of respect. He doesn't chase perfection. He doesn't experiment recklessly. He cooks for comfort, for warmth, for silence, for the kind of peace that only comes when the world stops demanding things from you. Ask the members and they'll tell you Suga's dishes are surprisingly reliable. Not flashy, not experimental, but the kind of food you crave after a long day, soothing, unassuming, gently seasoned, made with a heart that pretends not to care but clearly does. They'll also tell you he's funniest in the kitchen, though unintentionally. His commentary is brutally honest. This is too much work. Why does chopping take so long? Cooking is tiring. I'll just make something simple. And yet, somehow, the simple thing turns out really good. That's the paradox of Suga. He cooks like someone who doesn't want to cook, yet ends up creating dishes people remember. He claims he's not good at it, yet he somehow nails the basics every time. He doesn't try to impress, yet occasionally does by accident. Why then is he last on the list? Because when it comes to enthusiasm, innovation, or chef energy, he doesn't fight for the spotlight. He doesn't care about presentation, competition, or kitchen domination. Cooking is a quiet act for him, not entertainment, not a hobby, not a performance. Just a moment of stillness in a noisy world. And there's something beautifully honest about that. Something that makes his kitchen story feel deeper, more grounded, more human. In another ranking one, about sincerity in cooking, or emotional authenticity, or comforting simplicity, Suga might be number 1. But in the realm of culinary ambition, playful experimentation, and variety, he peacefully sits at number 7, sipping his drink, nodding contentedly, saying, "Yeah, that's fine," as if the ranking was inevitable. Little does he know, his quiet rebellion in the kitchen is exactly what makes him unforgettable.
Number 6, Jimin, the soft-hearted try-hard whose kitchen stories are sweeter than his recipes. If there's one thing you must understand about Park Jimin in the kitchen, it's this. He is not bad at cooking. He is just adorably dramatic about every single step. From the moment he ties an apron too tightly, always too tightly, to the way he squints at ingredients as if they're trying to trick him, cooking becomes less of a simple activity and more of an emotional roller coaster he didn't exactly buy a ticket for. And yet, somehow, that's what makes him unforgettable. Jimin's cooking journey is a mixture of genuine effort, mild panic, unexpected sweetness, and a touch of accidental comedy. Imagine this. He opens the fridge with confidence, humming a tune under his breath, ready to create something meaningful. Then he stops, stares, blinks 3 times, forgets why he opened the fridge in the first place. And suddenly, the confident chef transforms into a soft, confused ball of chaos. But don't underestimate him. Behind the hesitation is a heart that tries harder than anyone else. Jimin grew up in a household where food was comfort, warmth, a moment where the world slowed down. He often talks about how his mom cooked dishes that felt like home wrapped in steam, and you can see that influence in the way he approaches the kitchen. Even when he doesn't know exactly what he's doing, he wants his food to mean something. He wants it to make someone smile. He wants it to taste like care. And that sincerity is the reason the members never tease him too hard. Not when he burns things, not when he oversalts, not when he stares helplessly at a boiling pot like it's a philosophical question. His cooking may not always turn out right, but his intentions always do. There is something fascinating about watching Jimin handle ingredients. He holds vegetables like they're fragile museum artifacts, touches hot pans with the caution of someone negotiating a peace treaty, and cuts onions with the dramatic flair of a man accepting his destiny. And when something goes wrong, a sauce fails, a pan sticks, a flavor collapses, he doesn't hide his emotions. His reactions are legendary. The little gasp, the pout, the ah, "What do I do now?" whispered like a tragic confession. But here's the twist. When he does get it right, the smile he gives is brighter than any kitchen light. That smile alone could season a dish. The members say Jimin's cooking has 2 modes. Surprisingly good and what were you trying to do? There is no in between. Sometimes he makes dishes that taste unexpectedly warm and delicious, full of intuition and softness you can't teach. Other times, well, he experiments. And when Jimin experiments, the results are unpredictable. Like the time he added too much garlic because garlic is healthy. Or the time he tried to fry something but kept turning the heat too low because he was scared it would burn and ended up steaming it instead. But the magic of Jimin is that even his failures are charming. He never gets angry, never gives up, never shrugs and says whatever. He tries again, and again, and again. His desire to improve is almost childlike, full of hope and innocence. He watches others cook, especially Jungkook and Jin, with wide, admiring eyes, asking small questions, taking mental notes, nodding seriously like he's studying for an exam. And you can see slowly but surely the effort pays off. Over time, he's learned how to control seasoning better, how to handle heat without panicking, how to plate food with elegance that only Jimin could naturally produce. But why is he still number 6? It's simple. Skill-wise, he's getting there, but consistency. Still a work in progress. Confidence, floating somewhere between I can do it. And help me, creativity. Sometimes brilliant, sometimes baffling, but emotional impact, off the charts. Watching Jimin cook is like watching a heart learn to speak. He pours emotion into every step, even when he doesn't mean to. And maybe that's why his kitchen moments stay with people longer than the taste of his dishes. His cooking is not about mastery, it's about sincerity. It's about vulnerability. It's about the way he giggles when something goes right and hides his face when something goes wrong. It's about the tiny stories behind every attempt, the childhood memories, the desire to take care of the members, the belief that a warm meal can make someone's day better. And in the world of BTS, where pressure is constant and expectations are sky high, Jimin's kitchen energy feels like a breath of fresh, slightly chaotic, refreshingly honest air. He may not be the strongest chef, but he is absolutely one of the most lovable ones. And that's why Jimin stands at number 6, a place that doesn't measure skill alone, but captures the heartwarming tale of a man who cooks with all his emotions on display, turning even the simplest dish into a soft, unforgettable memory.
Number 5. RM. The brainy chaos chef who turns every cooking attempt into an accidental adventure. When Kim Namjoon enters a kitchen, the universe holds its breath, not because something extraordinary is about to happen, but because anything could happen. Will he cook a decent meal? Will the food be edible? Will a utensil mysteriously break in his hands? Will a bowl slip, fall, and meet its destiny on the floor? With RM, the kitchen transforms into an unpredictable blend of science experiment, philosophical monologue, and a light sprinkle of destruction. And yet, hidden beneath the chaos, there is an earnestness so pure that you can't help rooting for him every single time. His cooking journey doesn't start with talent, it starts with curiosity. Namjoon grew up in a home where food was an everyday comfort, something shared, something quietly appreciated. But he wasn't the kid who stood next to his mother asking for recipes. He was the kid reading books in his room, exploring ideas, tinkering with thoughts. Cooking wasn't a passion. It wasn't even an interest. It was simply something he'd get to one day, when the world stopped giving him puzzles to solve. But life as an idol, the late nights, long practices, unpredictable schedules eventually pushed him into the kitchen, and the result was, well, let's just say it was educational for everyone involved. Watching RM cook is like watching a brilliant professor attempt arts and crafts. The intention is strong, the ideas are big, but the execution? That's where the fun begins. He starts confidently, shoulders back, eyebrows raised as if he's about to make a breakthrough discovery. He stares at ingredients like he's analyzing ancient texts. What are you? What can you become? How do you contribute to humanity? Then, inevitably, chaos slips in. Chopping onions becomes a battle of wills. Slicing becomes more like cracking. Flour ends up in places flour should never be. And seasoning? Namjoon seasons with the hesitant guesswork of a man defusing a bomb. Too little? Too much? Is this even salt? These moments would be embarrassing for anyone else, but Namjoon handles them with disarming honesty. He laughs at himself. He shrugs. He mutters, I messed up again, not with frustration, but with gentle acceptance, as if every failure is just another step in a bigger journey. And the members adore this. They've seen RM break chopsticks, crush garlic unintentionally, and flip food with the kind of optimism only he possesses. But behind the clumsiness lies something deeper. RM sees cooking as a learning process, a chance to test, explore, and understand the world in a new way. He approaches each meal with curiosity rather than fear. Yes, he may flood a pan with too much oil. Yes, he may stir too quickly or heat too aggressively. But he also pays attention. He asks questions. He improves. And slowly, almost quietly, he has become better than people expect. His strength lies not in technique, but in the way he listens to his instincts. He watches how the other members move Jungkook's precision, Jin's calm, Taehyung's creativity, and tries to blend those influences into his own rhythm. Over the years, this has resulted in dishes that are surprisingly good. Hearty stir-fries, simple rice bowls, stews that taste like comfort in a pot. Sure, he still breaks something once in a while. Sure, the kitchen still ends up looking like an aftermath scene. Sure, his plating looks like accidental modern art. But the flavor? The flavor is improving. And perhaps more importantly, the warmth behind the food is unmistakable. RM's culinary charm doesn't come from mastery, it comes from humility. He never pretends to know more than he does. He never hides mistakes. He never tries to impress. He cooks the way he lives, honestly, thoughtfully, with a willingness to grow. And that's why the members trust him, because they know that behind the occasional accident, he pours sincerity into everything he touches. There's also something poetic about the way Namjoon cooks. Sometimes, while stirring a pot, he'll drift into thought talking about life, growth, the universe, the meaning of flavors, or how food connects people. It's funny, it's adorable, it's beautifully RM. He can burn a pancake 1 minute and then follow it up with a quote like, "You know, life is like cooking. You fail a few times, but eventually, you learn what feels right." The truth is, RM isn't at number 5 because he lacks skill. He's here because his journey is still unfolding. He has the intelligence, the heart, the determination, just not the refined technique that the higher-ranked members already mastered long ago. But if there's anyone who might suddenly surprise the world one day by becoming a phenomenal cook, it's Namjoon. Because he's built that way, always evolving, always learning, always trying again, no matter how many bowls he breaks along the way. And so, RM stands proudly at number 5, the lovable chaos chef, the philosopher with a frying pan, the man who proves that cooking isn't about perfection, it's about growth, sincerity, and the courage to laugh at your own mistakes. Number 4, Jhope, the bright energy flavor master who turns every kitchen into a stage of joy. If the kitchen were a theater, Jung would be its headlining act, the kind of performer who doesn't just cook food, but cooks vibes. The moment Jhope steps into a kitchen, everything changes. The atmosphere becomes lighter, the room feels warmer, and suddenly, even the ingredients seem to perk up as if they know they're about to be treated with respect, rhythm, and a whole lot of heart. He ties his apron with flair, hums a tune, wiggles his shoulders, and approaches the counter the same way he approaches a dance floor with confidence, energy, and a gentle smile that tells you he's here to create something good, something comforting, something that can turn an exhausting day into a moment of peace. Unlike Jimin's chaos or RM's scientific confusion, Jhope brings a calming brightness to his cooking. He isn't the loudest, the flashiest, or the most technical, but he has something special, a natural rhythm for flavors. His movements are fluid, intuitive, guided by instinct and feeling. He chops with a steady tempo, seasons with small, thoughtful pauses, and checks the pot like he's listening for its heartbeat. And that makes sense, the kitchen has always been a healing space for him. Growing up in Gwangju, in a family with strong traditions and warm routines, Hosik learned early on that food isn't just food. It's love, it's time, it's a gift you offer with sincerity. His mother is known for her culinary skill, and if you've ever tasted her iconic dishes, especially her famous bibimbap, you understand immediately where Hoseok's sense of flavor comes from. It's in his blood, it's in his memories. It's in the way he instinctively balances salty, sweet, spicy, and savory, like he's adjusting choreography counts. He may not cook often on camera, but when he does, you see the confidence, the clarity, the joy. Watching Jhope cook is like watching sunrise, gentle, bright, full of promise. He doesn't panic when something goes wrong. He laughs it off, adjusts, keeps moving. He doesn't rush, doesn't hesitate, doesn't overthink. His cooking is grounded, mature, and warm, like someone making food not to show off, but to take care of others. And that's his true strength. He cooks for people. He watches their reactions. He listens to their comments. He adapts to what they like. He cares. The members know this well. When Jhope cooks, he checks their faces every few minutes, asking softly, "Is it too salty? Should I change something?" Do you like it this way? Not out of insecurity, but because he genuinely wants them to enjoy the experience. There's a kind of emotional hospitality in the way he works, a desire to make the kitchen a safe, happy place where everyone can relax. And the results? Surprisingly delicious. His dishes tend to be clean, balanced, nourishing. Nothing overly complicated. Jhope isn't obsessed with fancy techniques, but full of thoughtful layers that come from someone who knows how flavors complement each other. Stir-fried veggies that shine with subtle sweetness. Rice bowls that feel like warm hugs. Sauces that taste like someone put sunshine into a pan. There is an emotional intelligence in his cooking that few people ever achieve. And yet, if he's this good, why isn't he higher on the list? Because Jhope, for all his natural talent, doesn't push himself into culinary extremes. He doesn't experiment wildly like Taehyung. He doesn't train obsessively like Jungkook. He doesn't collect recipes the way Jin does. He cooks within his comfort zone, a beautiful, reliable zone, but still a zone. His strength lies not in technical mastery or ambitious creativity, but in emotional flavor, the ability to read what others need, to create harmony on a plate, to cook with warmth instead of ego. And that emotional warmth is exactly what makes him unforgettable. Imagine him stirring a pot, humming, smiling softly. It feels like healing. Imagine him plating food, wiping sweat from his forehead, whispering, "I hope they like this. It feels like love." When the members take their first bite, you can see the gratitude in their eyes because Hobi's food tastes like someone cared enough to make something gentle for them. In a world where everything can feel intense, high pressure, and chaotic, Jhope's cooking is a reminder of home, a reminder of calm, a reminder that sometimes the best meals are not perfect, they're sincere. And that's why Jhope stands confidently at number 4. The bright energy flavor master, the heartbeat of the kitchen, the man whose dishes might not be elite in complexity but are unmatched in warmth, balance, and emotional resonance. He cooks the way he lives, with hope. And that alone puts him in a league of his own. Number 3. Jin, the elegant home chef hero whose skills turn every meal into a moment of peace. When Kim Seokjin enters a kitchen, something magical and strangely comforting happens. The noise quiets, the energy settles, and suddenly, the room feels like a warm living room on a winter night, where someone you trust is cooking something delicious just for you. Jin doesn't need flashy movements, dramatic seasoning tosses, or chaotic experiments to prove himself. His power lies in familiarity, in experience, in the slow, steady confidence of someone who has spent years treating food not as a task, but as an expression of love, grounding, and survival. Jin's cooking journey began long before debut, long before the fame, the stages, the awards. Growing up in a family that valued home-cooked meals, Jin learned the beauty of simplicity early on. He watched his mother prepare dishes with calm precision, absorbing not just techniques, but the emotion behind them. Food, to him, became a language, a way to say, "I care," even when words felt heavy. This foundation is why he feels so natural in the kitchen, why he moves like someone who knows not just the recipe, but the reason behind the recipe. And when you watch him cook, that calm certainty radiates from every gesture. He chops with controlled rhythm, not too fast, not too slow, like he's matching his heartbeat. He seasons with the practiced flick of someone who knows exactly how flavors should balance. He tastes, then adjusts, never panicking, never rushing. The members tease him endlessly for being the chef young, but deep down, they rely on him. When morale is low, when practice runs long, when schedules drain their bodies and their minds, Jin often steps up, quietly, without announcing anything. He opens the fridge, grabs ingredients, and begins crafting a meal that feels like warmth returning to tired bones. And it's not just that he's good, it's that he's consistent. Jin's cooking rarely fails. It rarely surprises, rarely confuses, rarely collapses into chaos. Instead, it comforts, it restores. It carries a sense of security that comes from repetition, wisdom, and years of genuine love for the craft. His specialty dishes, from seafood pastas to kimchi fried rice to his famous Eat Jin creations, reveal a balanced palate, a strong sense of timing, and an understanding of heat that only experience can provide. But beyond technical skill, Jin has something even rarer: emotional presence. He doesn't just cook food, he creates atmosphere. When he's in the kitchen, you feel safe. When he laughs while stirring a pot, you feel lighter. When he raises an eyebrow at Jungkook for trying to steal a bite, you feel at home. His humor blends into his cooking seamlessly. He teases the members while chopping onions. He sings while washing vegetables. He wiggles his shoulders while waiting for water to boil. And somehow, this blend of confidence, warmth, and silly charm becomes integral to the flavor of everything he makes. His food tastes like family, like rest, like breathing out after a long day. But even the most reliable chefs have layers, and Jin has many. Beneath the jokes and gentle smiles, there is a man who once lived alone as a trainee, cooking for himself every day, learning through trial and error because it was the only thing that made him feel grounded after exhausting practice sessions. He wasn't born a great cook, he became one out of necessity, then out of passion, and that evolution shows in the way he handles every dish, with gratitude, with care, with the pride of someone who built his skills from scratch. So why is Jin, the beloved Chef Hyung, only number 3? Because talent-wise, he is brilliant, but he doesn't push the limits of culinary creativity the way the top 2 do. His specialty lies in mastery of the familiar, not experimentation. In reliability, not boldness. In experience, not instinctive genius. But make no mistake, Jin's cooking is priceless. He is the backbone of BTS's kitchen life, the comforting presence, the emotional center, the man who turns simple ingredients into moments of peace in a world that rarely slows down for them. Imagine this scene, Jin plating dishes with quiet pride, turning his head to call the members over. "Let's eat," he announces, voice loud, tone cheerful, eyes bright. Jungkook rushes in first, Jimin squeals, Taehyung peeks over the shoulder of whoever is nearest, RM gently nods his approval, Jhope claps his hands, already smiling, and Yoongi, he simply sits, looks at the food, and says with a soft smirk, "This looks good, Hyung." That moment, that warm circle around the kitchen table exists because Jin created it, with his hands, with his heart. With his unwavering desire to take care of the people he loves, that is the power of Jin's cooking. It's not just food, it's home, it's healing, it's history. And that is why he stands proudly at number 3, the elegant home chef hero whose dishes aren't just meals, but memories. Number 2, Taehyung, the artistic flavor alchemist who treats the kitchen like a canvas of emotion. When Kim Taehyung steps into a kitchen, the air shifts not because of chaos, not because of pressure, but because something quietly extraordinary is about to unfold. He doesn't move with the precision of Jungkook, nor with the practiced ease of Jin. Instead, Taehyung brings a presence that can only be described as atmospheric. The kitchen becomes a world of colors, textures, moods, memories, and emotions. He can't always express in words, but somehow pours effortlessly into whatever he's making. It's like watching an artist paint with ingredients instead of brushes and flavors instead of pigments. Taehyung's cooking isn't predictable, it isn't systematic, and it definitely isn't traditional. It's instinctive, guided by his senses, his feelings, the music playing in the background, or even the weather outside. To understand why Taehyung ranks so high, you need to understand how deeply he experiences food. For him, cooking is not a chore or a hobby, it's an emotional language, a slow exhale. A space where he can combine everything he's ever loved: jazz, warm memories with his grandmother, travel experiences, and his uniquely soulful way of observing the world. And this is exactly why his dishes taste like stories. They aren't just meals, they're moments. They carry the softness of late-night thoughts, the warmth of cherished traditions, the playfulness of his quirky personality, and the boldness of an artist who isn't afraid to experiment. Growing up in Daegu, Taehyung spent countless hours around his grandmother, who cooked with simplicity and sincerity. She never measured ingredients with spoons, she measured with feeling. A pinch, a handful, a taste, a glance. Taehyung absorbed that approach until it became part of him, woven into his DNA. To this day, he cooks the same way. Tasting, adjusting, smelling, pausing. He listens to the dish as if it's speaking to him. He closes his eyes, breathes in the aroma, and instantly knows what's missing. That intuitive palate is what sets him apart. He feels flavor. It's why he can walk into a kitchen, open the fridge, and create something remarkable out of 3 random ingredients. He doesn't overthink. He doesn't panic. He lets the food guide him. And somehow, it always turns out good. Sometimes even unbelievably good. But the magic of Taehyung's cooking doesn't stop at flavor. It extends to presentation. He plates food like he's arranging a museum exhibit, symmetrical yet natural, balanced yet free, elegant yet effortlessly undone. Every dish looks like something you'd see in a cozy cafe in Paris, the kind he would take photos of with his vintage camera. He cares about atmosphere. He lights a candle. He adjusts the lighting. He plays a bit of jazz or soft R&B in the background. For Taehyung, food is an experience, not an obligation. And that's exactly why the members admire his cooking so much. They know that when Taehyung cooks, he's offering a piece of himself, his calm, his creativity, his warmth. There's a quiet intimacy to his dishes. Jimin especially often melts whenever Taehyung prepares something for him because he knows how much emotion is tucked inside each bite. Taehyung loves feeding others, not loudly, not dramatically, but in a shy, slightly awkward, deeply affectionate way. "Try this," he'll say, pushing a spoon towards someone with wide, curious eyes, eager to see their reaction. And when they react, when they smile, or hum in satisfaction, or widen their eyes in surprise, Taehyung beams like a child who just received the best praise in the world. But don't mistake his soft heart for lack of skill. Taehyung is bold. He mixes flavors no one expects. He adds fruit where others add spices, uses unusual textures in classic dishes, and combines Korean comfort with European flair. He'll put honey in a dish that traditionally uses sugar. He'll add herbs at the last minute because the aroma feels comforting today. He'll garnish something with a tiny flourish because it looked lonely without it. He can take a basic ramyeon and turn it into a gourmet bowl with depth, aroma, and harmony, the kind that makes everyone go quiet for a moment because it's unexpectedly perfect. And yet, behind his brilliance lies unpredictability. Taehyung isn't consistent. Some days he creates masterpieces. Other days, he goes too wild and produces something experimental. Not bad, but confusing the kind of dish the members eat with polite smiles while exchanging eye contact filled with internal screaming. But that is Taehyung. You don't follow him for predictability. You follow him for surprise, for emotion, for atmosphere, for the way he transforms food into art without even trying. That's why he ranks so high, not because he's the most trained or the most disciplined, but because he's the most artistic. He brings soul into the kitchen, and soul is something you cannot teach. Standing at number 2, Taehyung earns his place as BTS's artistic flavor alchemist, the man who cooks with intuition, heart, nostalgia, and a painter's touch, turning simple dishes into emotional experiences and the kitchen into a quiet universe where every ingredient sings. Number 1, Jungkook, the golden chef with golden instincts. If there is one member whose cooking journey feels less like a skill and more like witnessing fate unfold, it's Jungkook, BTS's golden maknae, who somehow managed to become the golden chef long before anyone realized it was happening. When we rank him as number 1, we're not just giving him a title, we're acknowledging the evolution of a boy who grew up watching his older members cook, learned in silence, practiced in secret, and emerged with an instinct so sharp it borders on unbelievable. Jungkook doesn't merely make food, he transforms it, like he's having a private conversation with every ingredient on the cutting board. What's extraordinary about his cooking is the way he approaches it, fearless, curious, and fully immersed in the moment. He doesn't second-guess himself. He follows that quiet voice inside him that somehow always leads him to the perfect balance of flavor and texture. One of the most unforgettable things about watching Jungkook cook is the way he moves swift, intentional, and focused, almost like he's dancing with the kitchen itself. Every chop sounds like a beat, every flip of a pan looks like part of a choreography, and every taste test comes with that signature Jungkook expression, half serious, half delighted, fully determined. It takes you back to Run BTS episodes, where he'd casually whip up dishes that looked and tasted like something out of a professional chef's kitchen. Members would gather around him, waiting to try whatever he was making, and you could see the moment they tasted it. Eyes widening, shoulders relaxing, the slow nod of, "Damn, this is good." It wasn't luck. It was skill. Real, honed, natural skill. And yet, what makes Jungkook's cooking so special isn't just the quality, it's the story behind it. Jungkook has always been the type to watch and learn quietly. Food, for him, was another language, another way to take care of people he loved. When the Hyungs cooked for him during his trainee days, he remembered everything. The seasoning Jin used, the way Suga sliced vegetables, the technique Jhope used to flip meat in a pan, the way Taehyung experimented, RM's attempts, jimin's sweetness. Years later, he reflected all of them back, but evolved. Jungkook became a mirror of the team's history in the kitchen, taking bits of everyone and turning them into something new, something undeniably his. His ramen? Famous. His steak? Legendary. His late-night cooking vlogs? Healing. His instinct for knowing exactly when something is perfectly cooked? Almost supernatural. And maybe that is why Jungkook feels like the final chapter of this list, not because he's the youngest, not because he tries the hardest, but because he feels the kitchen in a way that can't be taught. He listens to the sizzle, he watches the color change, he senses the heat, and he trusts his gut. Every dish he makes carries a piece of his personality, warm, bold, comforting, and unexpectedly deep. Watch the members when Jungkook's cooking. They're relaxed, smiling, completely at ease. Food becomes his love language, and everyone who tastes it feels it. That's what makes him #1. Not just talent, not just flavor, but heart. Jungkook cooks the way Jungkook lives, with sincerity, with passion, with instinct, and with an emotional depth that turns something as simple as a bowl of noodles into a story worth remembering. And that is why no one else could ever take this spot.